How about that for an intro? Whew. 15 minutes to talk about the thing that's been argued for centuries. I don't know if we can get through it all, but let's try. T.J. McCormick. Sing the word. It's been a long week. I've been working long hours. I drove in from LA a couple days ago. I'm still not quite up, but that's not the point. The point is we got to sing the word. Look at what this morning's song is. Yep, you're going to get it today. And I'm going to get it too. Abraham. I just got it. Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. And he was called the friend of God. Was not Rahab the harlot also justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For just as the body without work, the spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. And he was called the friend of God. Was not Rahab the harlot also justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For just as the body without the spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. 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 I better take the ukulele off for this one. I'm sorry. Ugh. I usually have a very specific place, and it wasn't placed there. Good morning, children. Sing the word. Of course, your proprietor, your singer of the word, T.J. McCormick. And today we're delving into some serious stuff. Are you ready? I'm not, but let's do it anyways. Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. Now, in the Old Testament, Abraham is called the father of faith. Now, faith is that thing. I'm shaking the table. I better not put my arms there. He might get a little dizzy. And I can't stand not seeing the top of my head. There it is. Abraham is the father of faith in the Old Testament. The Israelites continually called themselves the children of Abraham. Abraham was the real deal. Abraham was the guy who they all looked up to. And he was a man of faith. And here is one of the reasons why they believe that. And if it's all in capital letters, that usually means it's a quote from the Old Testament. I'll leave it up to you to find this. But Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. So Belief in God back then was the key to righteousness. Now, did he follow any laws? Did he sacrifice a dove? No, he didn't do that. Abraham hadn't done anything like that yet, but it was coming. See, remember, this is pre-law. This is pre-Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all that. That's the law. But Abraham set it all up by believing God, and that is righteousness. If you believe God, I'm not talking about believing in God. I'm talking about believing God, believing what he says, what he's done, what he's going to do. If you believe in God, that is righteousness. And we, having Jesus as our rock, as our salvation, we believe in Jesus, and that belief brings us into righteousness. So that's the belief part of this song. Now, here comes the works. See what I did there? I'm giving you the works. So here comes the works. Was not, and there's a couple of words that I left out here. And isn't it also true? I kind of forgot what it said there. But anyways, again, look it up if you want to. You can yell at me and say, I didn't put every word in there. Well, those words I just didn't feel like were super important. So kind of just like, and is it not true that was not it kind of went like that. Was not Rahab the harlot also justified? Wait a second. Did I just say harlot? Did I just say Rahab the harlot? Yes, I did. Guess what? The story of God's salvation through the ages drives directly through Rahab's front room. Rahab was a harlot, a prostitute in ancient Israel, and somehow she got it. And when God told her to help the messengers, she did. It was like, okay, God. She did something, and it was credited to her as righteousness. So here we go. Belief or doing something. What is it? What brings us to God? What brings us away from the world and to a holy, righteous, just, completely correct God? Is it faith or is it works? James completely topples over the idea of grace through faith, because we should believe and that should be our grace. But James says, okay, let's see what your faith is doing for you. Is your faith bringing you to do stuff? I'm going to take the example of the thief on the cross just for a moment, because that guy was kind of busy at that moment in his life. He was pretty much useless. He had no way to do anything or to... he couldn't be a use to God, but guess what? He was one of the best testimonies in the history of mankind. Lord, remember me when you go to heaven, when you go to your Father. That's what that guy said. That's all he did. He didn't do anything, but he actually did. He opened his mouth and blah, 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 blah. He said something. And he said perhaps one of the most astonishing things that has ever been said by a human being. Lord, remember me. Remember me when you go to your glory. Okay, The thief couldn't have, given his tithe. He couldn't have walked a lady across the street. He was, stuck on a cross. Hands tied up, feet tied up. He wasn't going anywhere. But somehow he blurted this out. Now, what does that mean? That means that Jesus told him, today you will be with me in paradise. What? That's all that guy had to do? But remember, he did something. He spoke against his buddy who was like, Jesus, save yourself, all that stuff he was doing. The other robber, the guy who was hanging up there, he said, Lord, remember me. That was his work of faith. His faith drove him to say something. The tax collector, when he believed God, he said, I'm going to pay everybody back twice as much as what I stole from him. And I'm going to, And he did it because Zacchaeus is cool. We love Zacchaeus. He's like the guy who climbed up the tree to get a better glimpse of God. Faith drives us to do stuff. Don't forget that. For just as the body without the spirit is dead. Ooh. So also faith without works is dead. That's the name of the song. Faith without works is dead. So get to work. One more time. Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. And he was called the friend of God. Was not Rahab the harlot also justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For just as the body without the spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. 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 Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another with psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, yes, even works. Sing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. Oh, children, I'm exhausted. This is going to be a long week. But you know what? I just wanted to get up and say good morning, that I love you guys. And we will be back tomorrow somehow, even if I have to crawl out of bed and slither up into my chair with a cup of coffee in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other hand, a ukulele strapped on my neck. I don't care. I'm going to be here tomorrow. Love you guys, and Lord willing, of course, because if he comes to take me home, sorry, I'm checking out. But for now, we will see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.